Okay, we have ourselves another Norse game to watch. So it was actually today that I uploaded the video of Kvothe playing Loki, considered the worst god in the game. Sad to see that. A lot of pro players putting out these tier lists. Loki is rock bottom, along with Demeter. But Thor is considered by a lot of top players to be very strong and the best Norse god. And I do agree with this. I think historically, from Retold's existence, Thor has been very, very difficult to balance around purely from this Dwarven Armory start that you can do. Looks like Kvothe, what we're doing, we're watching him again. He played the Loki, now he's playing the Thor, and he is going to be going for that fast Dwarven Armory start. Copper armor, getting in nice and early, going for the full dwarf variation, and then hitting a few gazelles in before the Berserk goes and does something else. And this is more often than not what we do see these players go for. So there's been a whole load of Dwarven Armory changes over the times. Looks like Firefox is going to be the opponent, and Firefox is going to come and be annoying with his Catastropus, but an Alt-S or Shift-S by default for Kvothe will turn him into stand ground stance, would make sure that nothing can happen there. But yeah, the Dwarven Armory is changed a hell of a lot. Basically, it takes a long time for these copper armors and everything to come through now. It takes 60 seconds, and that did somewhat bring Thor in line. To be honest, I think Thor is just in a good spot, and the other Norses maybe need to be brought up a little bit and maybe hit, or maybe just bring them up to the same as Thor, or hit Thor in a different way. I think it's going to be very, very difficult. As long as this Dwarven Armory spawning a free dwarf stays a thing, Thor will probably be the best. Unless, for some reason, the gods that he doesn't have access to, the minor gods that he doesn't have access to, so Heimdall, Ula, and those other ones, if they become viable and the best gods, then maybe that'll take Thor down a little bit. Looks like we've got 2 relics uncovered. The map is Valley of the Kings, so you do get a fair few relics on this one. So its villagers gather food from hunted animals 5% faster. It's okay. Increases full hit points is very good for Kvothe, because I've seen that he's not really a Norse player, but when he plays Norse, he walls up like absolute crazy. So whether or not he just wants to go Heimdall to do that, or whether he'll also do that with the Thor, that'll have to go Freyr or Forseti. He's also getting a little bit of scouting info in. And as he's going for this very dwarf-heavy start, it means that he doesn't really have to go for many gazelles at all, although he is going to send one dwarf over to shoot it once. That guy is going to waddle back to the beginning, and then that'll be enough to advance if he is just going pure dwarves, which I think he is. It's also gone for the 3 armory upgrade variation, so it's a very greedy build where the temple isn't quite up, and there is going to be a 320 advance time from Firefox as the Hades. Now, Kvothe might think that he's getting away with this against a Hades because most Hades players play quite defensive, but Firefox can play that defensive style. We have seen him do it before, but quite often he goes for this aggro Hades, and obviously Kvothe can't see this, but if you see a Greek player advancing at 3 minutes something, their second age hero is probably going to come at you at some point, and I would honestly just right click this. Okay, he is going to wait for the dwarf to come through, not right click it. Minotaur going to be on the way. There is going to be enough food income to get a Hersa out, but he is going to have to wait a minute before this Hersa is actually useful. Dwarves can all sit around. That's going to be an absolutely massive hit. It's going to go Forseti, so if none of these go down, then he is kind of in a fine spot because he can heal those back up from the healing spring. There's no special attack yet for the Minotaur, so the dwarves do have to run back. Just garrison the dwarves in. Firefox hitting the Berserk. Instead, there's going to be an Ajax going around. And this is the issue with the super late greedy 3 armory upgrade uptime. And we normally see players going for the 2 now, rather than this, just in case they get aggressed on. It looks like the Hersa is trying to take out the Minotaur. I believe Firefox is a player that likes his restorations early, so might use that to keep the Minotaur alive. Might be worth it. Maybe not going for that one. Everything is garrisoned in, though. So Firefox, he is getting some damage done in idle time, but the villager numbers, of course, with Kvothe. Hades, though, does have his own 3 villagers. They don't look like villagers, but Vultavarius is 2.5 villagers worth of gold. It's 2 trickle rate, and the Greeks get about 0.85 income on their gold, so just over 2. And this is what I mean. Healing Spring comes down where all the villagers are here, so 1 per second, or maybe 2 HP a second. Is that what it gives you? I always turn my tooltip off when we get a new patch, and then I just forget to turn it back on. So I believe it's 2 a second. Anyway, Kavoth has survived, and that is the main thing. Now, grabbing more stuff would be a good idea. Grabbing some more armory upgrades. You could go for this one here. Gets you another dwarf, and also gets your hearses extra favor income. I really like that upgrade. It's also lots of gold in the bank. I mean, Kavoth was basically just on whatever resource he could manage to get on there. It wasn't it wasn't the case of he's got a plan. It's just gather something and not die. Now the longhouse coming out. And he also doesn't know what Firefox is going for. Now, I would assume that Firefox here goes for a second town center on the back of this, because the map is Valley of the Kings. It is absolutely massive, and there's a lot of defensive resources in here for Kavoth. He's also got his healing spring in such a good spot where this gold mine can't be aggressed on. Yes, the gold mines are forward, but Kavoth is going to have access to his dwarven gold mine. So the aggression will probably stop at this point from Firefox, unless he's going for his kind of build that he likes to go for, which is that fast heroic shove a fortress in your face. And I don't know if Kavoth would realize that that might be coming. I like this cheeky wall on this backside here. Don't know why this dwarf is wandering around. I think he's just getting all sorts of confused, trying to get on that gold mine. And that upgrade did come through for the hearses. That's going to be another longhouse coming down. So no plan to get an immediate town center. Although this town center is a town center. It does have some lions behind it. It does have some boars in front of it. The issue is that it has no gold mine in this like little cubby section, where if he was to wall this off and there was a gold mine like here, then it'd be a pretty good spot just to be able to get a town center and kind of chill. But without a gold mine, it is looking rough. He's also finding a lot of these relics, which is nice. There has been one picked up from Firefox here, where myth units regen, which is nice for him, considering he gets extra HP on those bad boys anyway, being Hades. Ranged soldiers inflict divine damage. Now, the backbone of the Norse army is the throwing axemen, is the ones that deal the most damage. So if they can also deal a tiny bit more damage, but divine damage, very similar to when you have the slingers with their divine. I think it's half the amount that the slingers get, but I think the slingers are OP, so absolutely works. It's going to be a forward longhouse coming down, so lots of longhouses for Kavoth, going for this very heavy into infantry, unless he's deciding to grab this town center. Kind of looking like he's posturing that way. And we'll be able to grab that one very, very quickly. I think Firefox knows that that is a possibility for this map, and this town center's way better. It's got this gold mine very close where you can auto-queue dwarves onto it very nicely. It has this one that's not too far away. Also has 4 rhinos on it. This is an absolutely great town center if you want to grab a second one. And I don't think Firefox can really stop this, considering more than likely he's grabbed his own. We can see that is the case. But even if I didn't have that, I think in this game, even I would know that there was nothing else coming. Although there is obviously going to be the heroes that are going to come through. No wall up on this position. Firefox will just run through, and that is a good bit of damage from him. Nice heads-up play, knowing that Kavoth's full army is here because he wanted their infantry army to be building up his town center. But the wall coming in absolutely clutch. And the hoplite just being annoying, where these dwarves want to finish him off before they run back. But it's fine, there are lions up on this side as well, so not losing out on any walking time at all. And then the hoplite hero army is going to run back through again, or tries to get the ghost building. Does manage to get that quick wall up. And Ajax could potentially pay for that. But this is just Firefox just trying to get maximum value with minimal units. So it isn't really much for Firefox. He's thrown away, I think it was 2 hoplites and an Ajax for just trying to make sure that Kavoth can react. Because, I mean, that's probably the worst case scenario for Firefox there, getting that amount of damage. If someone's not paying attention, or if they've got too many units here, they didn't have any berserks back at home, or something along those lines, he could really punish with just 2 heroes plus miscellaneous units, whatever you have on top of that. Berserks coming through for Kavoth does have that dwarven breastplate. That's another dwarf that's coming through for free. And also pushing Firefox off this rhino that he's just started. 600 food in it from the 650. And that upgrade is so good. This one here, this dwarven breastplate, gives you this extra hack armor, and it is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, the herdman too. I was thinking, they surely don't give pierce. No, it gives you your extra herdman. hack armor if you want to go for that one. It's always what I want to go for. If I'm playing against a Poseidon, then those herdmen are so strong. And with that Berserk upgrade, with the Forseti upgrade for the Berserks and the herdmen, it's so strong. And there's going to be a heroic age coming through for Firefox, which means he is going to have access to those Hippaspis. We do see them getting built. And I think what Kavoth wants to do here is he wants to stop a fortress getting dropped on this gold mine. The issue is he's done Thor scouting. Now Thor, probably the thing that he's worst at is scouting. There might be a gold mine around this right side somewhere. But Kavoth just trying to defend this side because he knows that that is a big Hades move, especially if the Hades has kept a hold of Sentinels or has just not been building myth units, because then he can also just spam Sentinels basically. 50 favor. And he will be putting on the pressure. There is something coming behind him. He doesn't have his frost yet. He is going frost in half of 75 seconds. Troll going down. Also stealing the relics. You see, this is why Kavoth is the best player. This is why he won the tournament. Is people don't do this. I mentioned it in a point of view or a cast very recently. I think it was a Soup game, because Soup is someone that goes after the relics like crazy, and people knock down your temple and they don't steal the relics. These 3 hearses, he stole them so quick. He was like, this is what I want to do. Issue is the fortress did come up over this side. So just out of line of sight of the town center, and this is just Hades all over. It's so ridiculously strong. And what can Kavoth realistically do about it? The issue he's got is he's got nothing to take these things out, really. The Sentinels comes down. He doesn't have ranged siege of his own. The only siege he can get is 2 dudes and a big stick to hit these down, and the hoplites will tear that down very quickly. So I think Kavoth might just have to bail here. The issue is all the gold mines are here. He does have one on this side. So if he can get these dwarves out and win a fight, he might be okay. But look, all the Berserks taking so much damage from these Sentinels. Look, 50 damage, 30 damage, 30 damage. They all adds up, considering they only have 100 HP. But if he can manage to take out both Petropolis, then I think it's worth it. They're so expensive, so slow, takes so long to train. But Firefox can just grab them back. Look how many Berserks he lost for that, though. And the Manticore on the back. He is, of course, Thor, so he does have up to nice grab of bronze shields. He did get the tier 2 shields upgrade before he dove under that fortress, which is a very nice pickup. And what can he do? He's going to freeze this position. Do the Sentinels get frozen? No, they don't. I guess they are made of stone. Maybe the frost doesn't affect them for whatever reason. But that is going to allow Kavoth to take this out. The Frost Giant does have a bit of crush, so he can take out that fortress, but I don't think he needs longer than 30 seconds. Maybe he's just going to take down the Sentinels. It wouldn't be a bad idea, but you can see the cooldown on Sentinels. It's so short, and it's so cheap. Firefox had no favor before. He had about 20 favor. Now he's just shoved 7 villagers on the favor. Sentinels will go down at some point, and then he's just going to use it again, recast it on this fortress. Also, the Peltas are doing a tremendous job against these throwing axemen, and there's the second Sentinels. He even just shoves it in the same place, doesn't even rotate it with his mouse wheel. Just goes, yep, that's good enough. Just spam it down as soon as possible. It's also a bit of a cheeky Pegasus on this side. Kavoth trying to steal some balls away, and he's going to manage to for the time being. He's going to be an Underworld, though, and that is a bad time to be these dwarves. Does have the resources to turn them to Berserks if he wants to run them away, but probably doesn't want to do that, considering he's also losing his town center on this side. But maybe they're just all going to go down anyway. The good news is there's a lot of army this side. Maybe Kavoth can defend this side now. He is getting out one of his dudes with big stick. And now there's no units here. The portable ram against the catapult is insanely strong. It just needs to go after that one. Just needs to hit it. The Peltas and Manticore also do nothing. It's just the hoplites that are the big counter. Unfortunately, wasn't paying attention. I think he's trying to make sure his dwarves live. And 6 of them out of the probably about 10 that was there do manage to live. This one will probably be going down. So it saves half of them, which could have gone a lot worse. Has lost his town center. But the town center has managed to get a lot of value for him so far. Issue is this gold mine is exposed. But the wall that was up a long time ago is still here. Still getting value for him. And then Dwarven Mine going down, and he can sit in his main base on that Dwarven Mine, no problems. Also on this one, up this top side, gonna have everything, rhinos, and everything. And then this is what I like to see. Not the Ulf Jarl. I'm pretty sure I'm hovering The Frost Giants, here it is. Does he even have 2 temples? Yes, he has 2 temples. See, Kavoth does all the things that I always say. It's like, why not just drop 2 temples when you have loads of resources? If you can queue up 4 fire giants, why not queue them in 2 temples? And Kavoth says, that is what I'm doing. Also, the Dwarven Mine does mine a bit faster, so we can get even more of these bad boys out. And then once you've hit about 3 or 4 Frost Giants, get that upgrade. Let them be even stronger. They have a nice hat that they get as well. If anything gets a hat, it's a yes from me. Makes them so much stronger. Bit of a tire on them. So throwing axemen are getting stuck behind unupgraded peltasts. Basically only useful against throwing axemen. Against everything else, they don't do anything. So we see they absolutely tickle the portable rams. Everything else is going well though. Restoration number 1 coming in, trying to survive. There was second fortress out, but the portable rams en masse, when you get a few of them out, they do take out buildings ridiculously quick. Even Hades buildings with all these defensive structures. Ulfjarls, actually not a bad shout against the hoplites. I know it sounds weird, but because the Ulfjarls have so much HP, and then with Thor you get all these armory upgrades in earlier than you usually would. You can see another one coming in there. I think that was Iron. He's up to iron shields to sit underneath this, and with a load of HP means that each armory upgrade is just worth more. At least the defensive ones are. Frost Giants still surviving. He's got 5 of these Frost Giants. Also the upgrade coming in, which is going to be 33% extra HP, and then more freezes and some more damage. It does everything. I made a short, I don't know, it's probably like 2 years ago now, before Retold came out. It was for the original game, about Frost Giants being OP, and they're still good. I think everything else in Retold just got an insane buff, and Frost Giants just stayed the same, but they were good enough anyway. I've never liked this though. Why do they get 798 HP? Just give them 800. I don't know. 33% just gets them up to that, and this was from the old game too. 600 to 798. Whatever, doesn't matter. There is a Mythic Age in though, which I did not see coming from Firefox, considering he was taking heavy damage. But I guess that is just the Hades game plan. The Frost Giant's also getting caught out. There's a great building placement from Firefox if he has a lot of archers. But I guess the portable rams can just run in and not do much. And the army comp here is superb. Ulfjarl, Frost Giants, dudes with big stick to hit it down. I guess I shouldn't be called it a stick. It is a big ram. It's a big tree. These guys, they must have some big traps on them. Actually, they have 0 traps. Absolutely none. Oh well, look at them. Taking down those things. And the kind of issue is that it is pure frontline. There was no damage dealers. I think Kavoth didn't want to build the throwing axemen because there was loads of peltasts earlier. Now the peltasts went away. They are being rebuilt. But you need to micro the throwing axemen quite well, just because they just have no range on them. So it's got 14 range compared to, I think it's about 19 range that the peltast would have at this point. 20 range. Oof. Big oof. Look at him. They just stand no chance. Nice cheeky raid coming up on this side. If there were some units, but they have been... Oh, there are going to be some random wood choppers. I think this is what a lot of these top players do. Oh, there's some gold mines. But when they finish on something, to reduce walking time, they're like, oh, I'm just going to shove them onto this wood line here. He's also manually stopped the freeze. He's alt-queued the freeze, which means that he's not going to waste time freezing the villagers because they die in like 3 hits from these guys anyway. Nice cheeky raid. Maybe even just one of them could have done that, but you didn't know what was over here. So I think a nice raid, pushing him off the gold mine, getting some damage done, making sure that he keeps all these portable rams alive. You can tell these were the ones that were damaging earlier because they all have a lot of damage on them. So he's done 3k damage to buildings, which is nice. Longhouses, building check. We got 7 longhouses, 4 great halls. I think that's fine for this stage of the game. You just need to keep building them out. Is he thinking about Mythic Age at some point, Kavoth? I don't think so. He does have another town center, which he's just finished, you can see, because the Gatherer has popped out and not yet done anything. Has noticed it pretty much as soon as it's come out. But I think a Mythic Age should be coming through when he gets up to full pop, as he is going to be against iron everything. What are we here, though? Still only on iron shields. There is going to be a heavy Huskarls coming in, though, and when the Huskarls come out, they are going to be the best answer to those peltasts. They are 5.3 speed, Just nice and speedy with that Forseti upgrade. This Hall of Thanes, they will be able to run onto that back line and chow through them, just chop them down. And actually, rather than Mythic just stealing this town center is an interesting idea, because the gold mines are over here. He's going for the Frost Giant raid again, but Perseus this time is here to put a stop to it. Looks like Perseus. Oh, Frost Giant running away. Running away from Perseus. Kind of running away so he can try and get some more building time on this settlement. I think the Hoplites will eventually win this fight, unless all the Berserks turn around. I mean, there are just more of them, so they should be able to win that. Also converting some villagers. Absolutely sick play for a non-Norse main to make is convert some Berserks. At this point, you've got so many villagers. Converting some Berserks where you need them is definitely a good choice. Always the right choice. Now this is the bit where the Norse players struggle, and it is a ball of archers. The Huskarls are in though, and also ring around the rosy with those hoplites that do counter the Huskar, like soft counter them basically, which is get rid of those guys. Nice, just cheeky bit of micro. And the Jarls also being able to take out those Toxotes very nicely. Firefox does a great job though with sniping the backline, which are the real damage dealers. But when the backline is gone, the Peltas are useless. They just don't do anything. They do have a relic, which makes them good against buildings. So that's a thing. But Kavoth is just full sending. There's some more units coming down. Hypaspis coming down to counter those Berserks that were trying to build up this settlement. Kavoth's just being cheeky here. He doesn't need the settlement. It was just... He's got his 3. He's trying to just gain more map pressure. Distract even more. But Firefox not really falling for it. Not overcommitting. Just sending down just enough units to cause a fuss. Now the top side again. Great Jarls coming in. I think maybe just overstepping just a little bit. He's got his watchtowers. He's got his town center. Is there a reason for it? Yes, there is. It's going to be a hill fort on the back. Sacrificing these guys' lives for the greater good of getting up a hill fort. It's going to be the aim. There's a Colossus taking down the fortified town center. Double Hersa. Going to be enough. No problem. I wouldn't mind seeing a wall here. He has kind of been done a couple of times by not having a wall in this exact spot. Just a cheeky wall. Maybe not cheeky. It's a bit long to be considered a cheeky wall. But the hill fort will be up. And the Manticores again. Manticores are such a hard unit also. What have we got? How many hill forts? We've got 2 hill forts. 2 hill forts up. That should be enough to build some Huskarls out of. They are coming. And the music fades out because the hill fort has stopped being attacked, and then it comes back into play. But I believe a Mythic Age is probably a good call now, unless he does just want to just keep pressuring, keep going in. I mean, what does a Mythic Age really give him? The thing that I would like to see is getting the Berserk upgrades, getting the Huskar upgrades, Berserker Gang, and the other one. I'm sure it's going to come through, so we don't really need to see it. But it's Berserker Gang and Bravery. So it's the Huskar and the Berserk upgrades. It makes them ridiculously strong. Kavoth not gone the way to get all of the Berserk upgrades, but he gets 2 of the 3. As, of course, Bragi does get you some nice Berserk upgrades that way. But he's not really going for those. He's mainly going for those Huskars anyway. Throwing Axeman coming through. I think it's a bit of a misclick there, going after the stable. And there's a fortress on this top side to defend another Zom. I think Firefox, every time I watch him, he shows why this should be nerfed. I have no idea why it's +5 on every Sentinels recast, considering what some of the other ones are. A kind of half Frost maneuver? Was that a second Frost as well? It was a 200 favor Frost. What did he manage to get? He did get half the units, so that is what he wanted. He just needs to make sure to micro it. When your units are frozen, or the enemy units are frozen, your guys will just attack them. And it's very frustrating. I mean, it is kind of a skill thing, but also the units just, I don't know, they get a little bit confused. So, because of that, I just think frosting a whole army is generally better. Like, if there wasn't this kind of, I don't know, it's not really a bug, but if it wasn't this thing where your units just target the frozen ones down, then I think a half freeze would be so good. But you're kind of just biting yourself in the foot, shooting yourself in the foot. Biting yourself in the foot? That's an interesting saying that it definitely isn't. Anyway, Mythic Age is coming through. It is going to be that tier. so we can get the nice Berserk Huskarl combo. Does need to wait, though. He is quite severely popped down, so wants to wait before engaging. Looks like the Huskarl is just going to be in to kind of be annoying, be a nuisance, try and go after those villagers, distract a whole army with just 5 of these dudes. That is what you're after when you're repopping your army. Just the amount of population that is causing to be idle here when all these Huskarls are doing is just waiting to print more Huskarls back here. And we're about 30 seconds away from our tier. Going to have a bit of a Fimbulwinter to come through as well. Great Jarls on the back. 238 HP. Did he manage to get all the iron upgrades? No, he did get the defensive ones. Didn't go for iron weapons yet, but that is normally the combo that I like to do, or the route that I like to go on. The defensive options first, and then get the aggressive one last, get the weapons last. I imagine you just drop it straight away. There's no reason not to. Drop it whenever you can. Fortress going to be going up probably 20 seconds left on this. And I think Firefox is holding pretty nicely. Going to be archers versus archers on this side. It's also got some Heliopolis on this bottom side to attack this gold mine even more. There is another gold mine up here that's going to be finishing soon, but there's a 50 favor gold mine, 6k mythic age gold mine that can be used at some point. Also wanting to get quarry in, so we'll be getting gold income like absolutely crazy. That's why I'm surprised he used the frost, because I mean that's so many dwarven mines. That's like two dwarven mines, 2 and a bit, because it goes up 50 each time. See, it's 100 now, so the next 2 would have been 150. Uses it on this backside, so when this one finishes, he'll be going straight through this. It's quite a short cooldown from what I remember. Yeah, 2-minute cooldown. And a Titan even. A Titan. For Firefox. Now, obviously this game's been out for so long now, and I've been playing since the start, but I still have no idea how good Titans are, because people just very rarely go for them. And they always amaze me whenever they come out. They have these upgrades that I never really remember. But how does Norse deal with a Titan apart from build one? Because the issue with Norse building a Titan is you need your dudes that are defending you to go back and actually build them, which means that you're susceptible to these Heliopolis coming in, fortified town centers going. One thing you can do is if your economy is in a great state, you could just convert loads of villages. It could be an option if that's what you want to go for, like 15, 20 villages, and those are your Titan Gate builders. That's if you're in a good spot, though. You're still kind of down that population. You'd be down, say, if it's 20 units, you'd be down 10 population, because the villagers go from 1 pop to 2 pop. But still, it looks like he's winning the fight anyway. Now the legendary is in, and I'm sure champion throwing axeman will be coming very, very soon. Does have the resources for it, but instead he is going for Secrets of the Titans. Yeah, I feel that's probably the best way for Norse to do it. I'll see if he does do the gatherers changing into dudes. Gold mine going to be grabbed. 1600 left in this, but Firefox really wants it. He doesn't have the luxury that Kavoth has of just being able to drop a few more gold mines down. Although Kavoth did spend 50 favor here. He's also spent 22 favor on bravery, but it's a great upgrade. It gives them extra damage and also extra damage versus buildings, which means you need less siege weapons for the Huskarls. And because they're so quick, you can go on some kind of big fortress raids and tower raids and stuff, town center raids, whatever you like to go for. And pushing back nicely. I think Firefox, he has loads of gold. I think he's trying to steal the gold a little bit too much. He doesn't need it. He can just kind of pressure this side and then grab some more farms would probably be a better idea, but he is intent on stealing that stuff. And then the market-wise, yeah, some selling has been happening. I don't know if he thinks he's gold-starving Kavoth, or maybe he's just forgetting. I'm not sure, but there are just going to be some berserks coming back. 97 on the villagers, so I think these 3 got converted, and that was it. Just 3. Yep, those 3 can start off the Titan Gate. Why not? And then the ones on the front, just hill forts up, walls, towers, all of the above. Heliopolis is going to get sent back on this side. Love to see it. Fortress going up again. How many Firefox fortresses? And he is 50% behind. Iron weapons will be an extra dwarf to come out. And he is 2 minutes away from this. And I don't think Firefox is going to have a Titan in Kavoth's space anytime soon. The issue is this big army. What can it do? There's no architects in, and the fortified town center is not full HP, so I imagine that to be going down to the hoplites pretty quick. It's like Firefox is just going to run through all this, and this is what I was saying about just get. Ooh, that's what I was saying about get some walls up, get some walls, get some towers to stop this from happening. I mean, Kavoth should win this fight. He's got all his units here. They're all defensive here. It's also going to be a restoration, so he can't really take the fight. He just needs to just build the Titan Gate. And I like the play from Firefox, just putting on as much pressure as he possibly can. There's no frost or anything that could be used here, and Kavoth will win the fight. But has it delayed the Titan Gate enough? He's got one dude still building it. I love that, because the one dude is going to be the most efficient to build it, just one. So always have that one, so then when everything else manages to rebuild it, he's going to be closer than he would have been otherwise. Longhouse raids coming in here, one champion berserk coming through. Where is that Titan? Oh, the Firefox Titan's a little bit further away than I thought. Just distracting so much, being such a pain with these units. Chiron going to be going down. Hate that guy. So strong in Firefox's hands. Made a whole video about that. But the Titan Gate a minute away for Kavoth. Can Firefox get over in time? Has he just thrown away too many units there? Well, we will see with the Longhouses coming through. There's going to be some more Berserks. Does have Berserker Gang when he wants to. Maybe wants to save up for a Dwarven Mine. He did save up for that Dwarven Mine instead of getting that upgrade. I think it's a fine shout, because he doesn't have access to any gold mines. Doesn't want to spend any unnecessary favor. 75% and a Dream. The Titan coming through. There's no building blocks that you can really do anymore. Not in this game. 80%. And I think the Titan for Kavoth will be coming through. These units won't die, so it should be fine. A nice transformation of the Berserks just to make sure, but I think it's fine. Some of these the healing spring just to heal up the boys, so they're going to take less hits, or they're going to be able to take more hits even if it's not very much while they're rebuilding. The Titan Gate comes in, can animation cancel this if he really wants to. He comes out pretty quick anyway, and that is going to be a Firefox Titan going down, because there are no heroes for the blue player. And Kavoth thought the same as me. He thought the best option is to get out a Titan, because the Hearses are just going to go down so quick. The Goaties, I mean, Goaties are Goaties. They just lose to Peltas too quickly. And for sure the Titan's going to go down. But we're missing this side. Firefox trying to build on this side. We will see the Titan, of course, falling down. But there are a lot of blue units around everywhere. Kavoth decides, he's like, yeah, I've done enough damage to this. I'm still going to have a Titan. So we're just going to run away. Make sure we don't lose everywhere else. We've got 6k gold. 6k gold, 6k HP. He even does a big roar. The Titan to say that he won the fight. But the Firefox unit's trying to get some damage done elsewhere. It's normally what you want to do when your big power spike is this side. I think Kavoth just forgot about the Titan. Want to make sure to use that guy. 6k. He's got hardly any HP left from his bar, but 6k HP is absolutely massive. We were saying the Frost Giants earlier had 800. 798, but, you know. So 6k. 10 unupgraded Frost Giants worth of HP. And Kavoth's just going to push this side. He feels that he's getting attacked down this side. Normally, this would probably be where his Ox Caravans go. But being Thor, he doesn't really care about that. He can just drop another Dwarven Mine. He's got 200 favor sat in the bank, so he doesn't care about that. So he's just going to attack this side. Attack with the Titan. I think it makes sense. If your Titan's full HP, you can just leave him to his own devices and let him just do whatever he wants. But when he's 6k HP, just send him with everything else so you can defend him a little bit easier, as the siege weapon will get onto the fortified town. So that's basically what he is. He's just a big siege weapon. I think Kavoth should be in a good spot here. He's going to be able to take down this fortified town center so quickly. Titan will go down. There's going to be another Dwarven gold mine dropped in the backside, of course. There is a town center getting dropped from this side, Firefox, with his 20th fortress of the game. And Ajax might win that fight. No, well, not the throwing axeman behind him, but Chiron again coming through. The Greeks, you think they wouldn't be good at dealing with them, but actually the four heroes do so much damage. You just need to make sure to target them down with whatever units you have, really, and then you should be fine. But if you leave them be, they deal disgusting damage with their big multipliers. Kavoth can probably take the settlement as well once the towers are taken care of. The hill fort is up. Firefox will be able to take this one. So it's kind of just swapping the battlefield to go over here. But the great thing is that he is disrupting the donkey caravan trade of Firefox, which he hasn't had to start. He's got 4.5k gold left over. He's going to be fighting to get another 50 favor for another Dwarven Mine when that one finishes off. So no problems. He's also managed to get the one in the middle of the map that they've been fighting over for the last 15 minutes. You love to see it. Love to see it. And this is what makes Thor strong, everybody. If you're wondering if Norse is weak, Thor is good. Thor is good. He is the guy to play. If you want to play Norse and you feel like it's a bit of a struggle playing the likes of Loki or Odin, then give this guy a go. Definitely, there is going to be a settlement coming down, but there's some berserks transformed from the villages. Doesn't need that many villagers anymore. No siree. He needs berserks. He needs them now. Berserker gang coming in right now as he has the gold. I do like that he left this, though. He might have just forgotten it, but it is 30 favor, and that is so much favor when you want to spend everything on Dwarven Mines. But a great game from Kavoth, showing that Thor is insane. Well played by Firefox too, and you don't get to see a Titan fight that often, so why not?